And that's when the volatility started. And the volatility all started in our time zone. And that's, interesting in and of itself. The big rallies mostly occur during Asian trading hours. The big sell-offs happen in U.S. hours, or, late European, early morning U.S. is when you see all the selling. Well, we had another positive week in precious metals, but it wasn't without a lot of volatility, especially over the past two trading sessions that saw wild swings in the price of both gold and silver. But despite those wild swings and today's big drop, gold still managed to gain 2.2% on the week, and silver rose 4.7% on the week. Most significantly, gold is above $4,000. It closed at about $4,000 or $4,080, and silver ended the week back above 50. But intra-week on Thursday night, it got above 54. In fact, silver almost made a new record high. It was about 25 cents away. And that's when the volatility started. And the volatility all started in the big rallies mostly occur during Asian trading hours. The big sell-offs happen in U.S. hours, or, late European, early morning U.S. is when you see all the selling. A lot of it is before the U.S. stock market opens. Usually within an hour or two before the opening bell, they hit the metals hard. And that's what happened on Thursday and Friday. But it shows you that a lot of the buying is coming from Asia. Right? They're buying gold. The selling and the speculating against gold is happening in our time zone. But on Thursday, we had gold up over $50 in the evening. And then in the morning, it was down $50. Silver, which was up over $1 in the evening, was down over $1 in early morning New York trading. Then last night, silver again soared over $1. Gold was up over $50. And then near the open of our market, or just before, there was a huge sell-off, and gold dropped like $130, $140. Silver dropped over $1.50, not from the high, but went from up over $1 to down more than $1.50. So more than a $2.50 swing in the price of silver between the time U.S. markets closed and U.S. markets opened. But I think what's the most significant about all of this volatility is that it's taking place above 4,000 for gold and above 50 for silver. That's what I've been saying. 50 is the support for silver. Now, it can trade below it, but that's really where the support is. That doesn't mean it can't trade 49 or even 48, because silver is inherently pretty volatile, and so it's hard to stop at a round number. But this is about the support. Gold, 4,000 is key support, and we've managed to go below it, but not by much. Gold never went below 3,900 after it went above 4,000. The lowest I saw was maybe 3,910 or 3,920. Silver did go below 50, but then it came soaring back. I mean, when silver almost hit a new high on Thursday night, gold was still maybe $200 away from a high. Gold got, less than 200, but because gold got back above 4,300, I think. But after today's sell-off, it's back below 4,100. But this is very constructive trading as far as I'm concerned. 4,000 is the new 3,000, just like 3,000 was the new 2,000. And silver, when silver was at 40, I said 40 was the new 30. And now it's almost like 50 is the new 40. Yes, silver did go below 40 a few times before it rocketed up to 50. And that's why it may go back below 50, especially when we're only 60 cents away. But I wouldn't wait. I think that today's sell-off was another buying opportunity for Shift Gold customers to go to the Shift Gold website on Friday, on Saturday, and even Sunday morning, because I expect another big run up in gold and silver prices Sunday evening into Monday. Now, maybe it won't be sold off in the U.S. time zone. What I've managed to notice is that the big sell-offs happen later in the week, not earlier. So there's a good chance that we get a big run-up on Sunday night and then an even bigger run-up on Monday morning as Americans who got out of their silver and gold rush to get back in. So it's another great weekend buying opportunity at Shift Gold to load up on gold and silver in particular, which I think has got an explosive move that's coming. But a lot of other things happened that are bullish this week, fundamentally, for both gold and silver. So one of the things is the carnage in crypto. It's pretty clear that there is a major rotation going on, and it's not just from growth or risk type stocks to value dividend paying stocks. That's happening too, but it's a general risk off trade. Not that all equities are risk off, but portfolio managers seem to want to have less risk. So the most riskiest assets are getting sold and people are moving into other assets that have less risk. They don't want to move into bonds, right? Because the old safe havens are no longer safe anymore when you have inflation as the primary risk and a dollar debasement. That's why Treasury prices were also down today and down on the week, and yields are rising. But we saw moves down in tech stocks. Tech got hit pretty hard. In fact, the NASDAQ was down about 4.5% on the week. In contrast, look at gold and silver stocks. The GDX was up 5% on the week, almost as much up as the NASDAQ was down. And the GDXJ almost up 5% as well. Now, of course, these gold and silver mining stocks would have been up a lot more without the losses from today and yesterday, right? And so it could have been a much bigger move. And I think it will be a much bigger move next week as the rotation out of risk continues, because yes, there's risk in gold mining stocks, but not nearly as much as there is in these tech stocks. And there's a lot more earnings behind them. There's a real strong fundamental story for the gold stocks. In fact, Barrick Gold came out with its earnings Monday, and over the first 3 days of the week, Barrick Gold was up 13 or 14% before pulling back with this, these violent, sell-offs in gold. But that highlights the powerful potential of the gold mining sector to earn money in this gold bull market. And so this is bullish for gold because it's going to bring more money into this sector, but also